I'm doing a series this month called Spring Clean Your Heart. It's springtime and a lot of us are getting ready to purge the house and spring clean. What about decluttering in here? Sometimes as moms, there are things that build up in here because we're so busy trying to manage the day-to-day. So be sure to keep watching for all 3 videos in the Spring Clean Your Heart series. Are you afraid of looking like a hot mess mom? If that's you, keep watching. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Kathryn. Welcome back to my channel, Mom Life on Purpose, where it's okay to be a work in progress. Work in progress. In today's video, I want to talk to you about 3 things I'm letting go to become a better mom. Let me tell you a story. There's this one time when my now 4-year-old was 2 and we were in a crowded place and she chose that moment to throw a full out just tantrum, and I can't even remember really what the tantrum was about, but I know it was very loud and I know it was very public, and I was a little embarrassed. Even being a mom of 4, when we go to the grocery store, I give my kids a pep talk. Anyone else give the pep talk? Like, you better act like you know how to be in public. No, but really, this particular time I went to the store during nap time, and you know how that is when kids are hungry and they're tired, and that is just, if you're planning to go to the grocery store with a hungry, tired child, do not expect an optimal outcome. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So I happen to be holding all this stuff in my arms, of course, and my daughter throws a fit. So that time I whispered something in her ear. I can't remember what I told her, but she calmed down and we walked out together. And I was patting myself in the back because I was like, you handled that well, mama. Sometimes we gotta pat ourselves in the back because we know the situation could easily go left. Now, it doesn't always happen this way. To be honest, I totally had like an internal meltdown while I was dealing with my daughter's public meltdown. And I had all these thoughts rushing through my head. You know the ones. If you're a mama of small kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why is this happening now? Why is everyone staring? What in the world? Why do I have so much stuff? What does she need right now? This is so embarrassing. Why now? And let me just tell you, if you're used to having it all together, there's nothing that shatters your pride like motherhood, especially when you're dealing with tantrums in front of other people. And if you're the type of person that just doesn't care what other people think, please teach me your ways and leave a comment and tell me how you do what you do. I worry about being judged, as if anybody out in public knows anything about me or my life or my kids or my story or my anything. But you know, sometimes we just get caught up in that. Maybe I just have a little bit more pride that needs shattering. So that whole tantrum situation, it got me thinking that there's some things that I've been carrying as a mom that are kind of heavy that I need to let go so that I can take hold of what matters most. The first thing is the need for perfection. Are you a fellow perfectionist? Guilty. I have to be honest. I'm still a work in progress. Some people are just hardwired that way. What perfectionism does is it creates super duper high standards for yourself to meet, and it's really hard not to impose those super high standards on all your relationships. So it kind of builds a barrier between you and your kids and anybody else that you care about, because a healthy relationship thrives on like connection and the ability to be vulnerable. You can't be vulnerable if you're not honest about your shortcomings. If you're disappointed when things are not perfect, then who's gonna feel safe enough to share the less than perfect parts? Another thing to let go is the need for validation. Who doesn't want to get that pat in the back on the store when your kid's acting a straight fool and you're like, you know, handling everything? You know, who doesn't want to hear you're doing a good job, mom? When I quit my job to stay home, I really struggled with the fact that there's no parameters to like judge how well you're doing. Like, there's no job reviews being a stay-at-home mom. Like, how do you know if you're doing it right? Most of the time, how do you even know that you're doing it well? When your self-worth is wrapped up in like what you get done, it's really tempting to find validation in how your kids behave. There's so many times all day, every day, when I feel like the work that I'm doing doesn't matter because it's going unnoticed. It's going under the radar. Children aren't raised by accident. It takes a lot of intentionality and a lot of consistency to raise kids. I mean, my kids are pretty well behaved, and you catch one of them on the wrong day and they can have me out in these streets looking straight stupid. But we're all in this. Like, nobody's kids are perfect and nobody's lives are perfect. Another thing that I'm trying to let go to become a better mom is the need for control. Now, when I think of someone who is controlling, I tend to think of like a stern, like austere dictator type. I'm not really thinking of myself. But when I take a deeper look at like my schedule, for instance, my schedule's telling another story. All the things that I'm kind of cramming into my week. How about my reaction when the kids break something? Or when they spill stuff all over the floor, how about the things that I'm running to numb out when I'm exhausted by the end of the day? Even the slightest effort to manage how others perceive you is a telltale sign that you're afraid of losing control. We don't want to look like a basket case, so we keep calm and carry on. When people ask how we're doing today, we say fine. There's times where I take on way more than I can handle just so I look like I'm capable. There's times that I'm a little bit harder on my kids because I don't want to look like I can't handle them. Sometimes we make sure that our kids behave well in public and we brag about their achievements so that we look like a good parent. We like to hide our flaws behind concealer, closed doors, and filters so that no one will judge us. But it's time to let all of that go. I read a book that really helped me let myself off the hook a little bit. It's called Mom Set Free, Find Relief from the Pressure to Get It All Right. And it's written by a woman named Jeannie Cunyan. This book is awesome. She talks all about the pressure to be enough, the pressure to be a good example as a parent, teaching yourself to live in grace, and also parent with grace. So if you struggle with any of the things that I mentioned, the need for perfection, the need for validation, and the need for control, I highly recommend that you grab a copy of this book, and I'll leave a link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video and found something in here helpful. Thanks for letting me share my heart with you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.